Okay, Shalom, Shalom, it's the brother Kadash. I want to start off by giving our praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rekah Kodash. This is going to be a vision. No precepts to go with it, but this is going to be a vision that I just had. So I had this vision last night. I woke up and then here I am, pretty much trying to go back over it through the vision I had. The first thing I wanted to do was is kind of get this vision so it kind of be fresh so I could give you give the brothers and sisters out there this vision that I had. So you got to bear with me because I'm trying to remember it and collect all of it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start off with some of the backstory. This is a vision I had, but I want to give you a backstory of why I felt like I had this vision, right? And pretty much we just gonna jump straight into it. So last night, right? Last night I went to bed around like 12 midnight, 1 in the morning, closer to like 1 in the morning, right? And before I went to bed, I was just on YouTube. I was on YouTube, not on a computer, but just like on a TV on YouTube, and I was just listening to music, and that took me down, different artists and their music videos and stuff like that, right? So I actually got the feeling kind of low, because I started seeing them, and not that I was envious of them, but just that life, having the finer things of life, right? Which we all get there, and there is passages in like the book of Job and stuff that tells you not to envy the rich man and stuff like that, right? But you seeing it, it's all in your face, right? And you like, damn, look, we want diamonds and stuff like that. We want the jewelry and stuff like that, which is real because if you read Songs of Solomon, Solomon, they had gold chains. It speaks about that one of the verses in the Songs of Solomon. Gold earrings, gold chains. They was decked out. It talks about in Revelations 21 that we're gonna get all those precious stones and stuff like that. So it's not a bad thing to want those things, especially when you're getting it in righteousness, right? And the access to all the beautiful women. It talks about that Matthew 19, the hundredfold of wives, right? It, talks about a paradise, an everlasting rest in the kingdom, so it's not a bad thing to want those things. And I was just thinking to myself, like, look, man, it seems like the more wicked they is, the more they get, the more they, and but I kept telling myself, well, they're being blessed, right? And because the world is wicked, so the more wicked they are, the more blessed they are, and the more stuff they have. And I kept telling myself, just imagine if they're wicked in a wicked world, look what they have being wicked in a wicked world. Imagine what the righteous is going to have in a righteous world, you see. And I kept telling myself that just to give myself that reassurance, but I cannot deny the fact that yeah, I was still getting kind of low, seeing it, and I was just, and it was a part of me was just feeling like, man, when is the end gonna come, man? And the parts, and then there was things that it's always a battle in with yourself. There's a battle internally inside yourself, right? So 1 minute I feel low, and then the next minute there would be this reassurance telling me, "Hey, look, but yeah, when the MOTB comes, they're going to take it in order to try to sustain our life. So it's good to be low right now, so you have a better chance of resisting the temptation to take the MOTB." So that came and reassured me, right? But then I would keep watching videos and seeing them on top of the world. I'm talking about the jewelry, the cars, the women, the trips, the ease of mind, the no problems with where it came to financial money, and then the reassurance to kick back in again, and it tell me, nah, but look at this guy, look at King Von, look what happened to him, look at his end, he was rich. Look at Young Dolph, look at his end, he was rich. Look at the Migos, they're done, they're over with. Look at Young Thug, their group, I'm just naming some rappers, right? They're pretty much done and over with. Look at Tory Lanez, he's done and over with. So I said, look, man, all these guys, it's pretty much coming to an end. Everything's pretty much coming to an end. They're having their runs, and it's pretty much coming to an end. And then I would reassure myself because, and this is what I was telling myself, and I was heavy in the spirit. No liquor, no alcohol or nothing, but I was heavy in the spirit. It's heavy on me. And I was just thinking, I was just pleading with the Lord, and I was just saying, man, all we need is that spiritual power, man. I said, this is what I said to myself. I said, look, man, if the Lord sent the angels and Yahweh Shai, that's like overkill. It don't even take, Yahushai and all the angels to come back to defeat Esau. He could send one angel back and it could take out something so very simple as taking out the electrical grid of Esau, and it's over with. That's so very simple and easy to do. One chariot could easily come and do that within an hour, take out the whole power grid in Mystery Babylon, and that's going to cause death for millions, right? Hundreds of millions, right? But and I was just thinking, I was playing with the Lord. I was like, man, just there's gonna have to be a switch from, these rappers being the king. Yeah, I was watching that shit, and they was talking about how Pop Smoke was the king of New York and all this and shit. And I'm thinking like, wait, we got apostles out there that's doing way greater works than what Pop Smoke was doing, but they're not looked at as the king of New York. Pop Smoke is, but we don't need that, because our reward, it comes in the kingdom of heaven. I get that, right? But I'm just telling you some things that I was thinking about, and I was having that war in my own soul, right? So this was happening all last night. I was playing with the Lord. I'm like, man, just give us that spiritual power. If the Lord just switch it to where the focus is on the Hebrew Israelites and give us that spiritual power to fight back against Esau, give us an advantage, then the whole world will be eyes on the Hebrew Israelites, right? And that's going to happen. That's actually going to happen, right? It's going to be a switch from the world having their eyes on these entertainers, right, to them having their eyes on the Hebrew Israelites, right? It's going to be a switch. Something's going to happen where it's going to switch. So I went to sleep, I went to bed, and I was heavy in spirit, right? And that leads me to this picture, right? So let me start the vision off, right? So it's weird. It's weird. We were like in school or something like that, or some type of government building, right? And there was a detective, and he was trying his best to build a case on me. So I'm gonna put myself in there, but it wasn't me though, right? Because I'm gonna explain at the end of the vision. It wasn't me. I was seeing the vision through somebody else, right? But it felt like it was me, right? So in the beginning, it felt like it was me. He was trying to build a case on me, right? But he sent. This is fucking crazy now that I'm thinking about it. Check this out, right? So he sent a person that I was cool with. And what is that? The Bible talks about that. Traitors. You're going to have traitors. You're going to have sellouts, right? So I knew that this guy was a sellout, right? But he was trying to build a case on me, like for illegal drugs or something like that, right? So what he would do is try to snoop around me and get residue or something like that, and then he would take it because he was actually an agent, and he would put it like under like a micro glass or something like that, right, where he could see it and analyze it and see that it was actual like drugs or something like that. So what I end up doing is I brung him something, but what I brung him, it was a test. I brung him something, but I knew that it wasn't drugs, but I wanted to test him to see if he really was a trader, and he ended up doing all that. And like for some reason, somehow I was able to like spy in and seeing him test what I brung him. So then I knew, okay, he was actually a spy, an agent on me, right? Not too long after that, the detective or the prosecutor, whoever that was on my case, came with this whole bullshit of case. Like it was, his whole case was bullshit, but he was going to charge me with it, right? And I got up out of there pretty much. They was gonna arrest me, but I got up out of there. But I came back, right? And my mom, she actually knew, like, I guess the prosecutor, she actually knew the prosecutor, right? So she was actually sitting down, and I'm just jumping around in the vision because this is how it happened. She was sitting down with the prosecutor, talking to the prosecutor, and she was saying, look, you need to look at this case of my son, right? This case that's going on, right? And they're trying to charge him, but we don't think they have the right to charge him because the things that they're listing that they're charging him with is all bullshit. They never caught him with anything, and they're just trying to put it on him. Now, who did that happen to? That happened to Paul, Apostle Paul, and that also happened to Yahweh Shai. He was just trying to charge him with this bullshit. So, like, imagine that, like in the book of Acts, right? Towards the end, the last chapters, right, where 20 21, 22, somewhere in between there, um where they was trying to bring a case up Apostle Paul. All that shit was just made up out of the thin air. Same thing when they crucified our Lord Yahushua. All that shit was just made up out of thin air. So that's what my vision was showing, that that's what these detectives was starting to do. Like, and that's what they're going to start doing. And I know we're close to it because right now everybody is talking about the Hebrew Israelites. Every time I go on YouTube, it's Christians trying to confront, it's evangelists trying to confront, it's small hats trying to confront us on the highways and byways, saying that they're wary and something needs to be done. But they're putting, they call us the BHI, the Black Hebrew Israelites. They saying that we're evil. They're talking about different attacks and stuff. So what do you think Esau's gonna do? He's just gonna start pulling shit out his ass in order to arrest us, especially the heads of us, right? And make cases, right? So that's what I was seeing in this vision, right? But the Lord was revealing some things to me. So I left, right? We left that building, and everything. My mom talked to the prosecutor. It was a lady, and I think that she was siding with my mom. And she was like, "Look, don't worry. I'm going to look into it." And but the detective or whatever, the agent, he was trying to not the boy agent that was friends with me, but the detective that was assigned to the case. He was trying to talk to the prosecutor too and tell him why she should go forward with these charges, right? So it was like that little battle. And as I was leaving, I'm walking down the street. So now I'm in a city, right? But not like a city with skyscrapers. This is like a small town, right? But it had like a big like building, like county building or whatever, right? That's where we was leaving, like this big county building, right? And then when you walk down the street, I'm downtown, and it's like a small downtown, kind of like Springfield, Illinois, where I'm at right now. A small downtown like that, but they got some buildings down there, right? So now I'm getting to the residential part where you get into where the houses is at. Before you get to the residential part, you're gonna run into apartments and stuff first before you get to where homes and subdivisions. You gonna run into apartments and stuff first. So I'm walking, right? I'm walking down the street, and then this where the Lord kind of remind me. It comforted me, but it scared me at the same time. So I see two army men. They're up the street. They're probably like a block ahead of me, towards my left, across the street in a field, right? And the two army men are kneeled down, and they got like rocket launchers, bazookas or whatever, but they got rocket launchers. Now they shooting a rocket launcher, right? And the rocket launcher is going into the sky, but they not hitting shit, and the rocket is coming down and hitting houses and buildings, but they don't give no fuck, right? So in my mind, I'm thinking, what the fuck is going on? Like, so you will see the missile come down and it hit a building and it look like this. What's on your screen, right? So I'm thinking, are they shooting at me? I'm trying to, when you see a missile go up in the sky, you don't know if it's going to come right down on you. You don't know where it's going to land, so you scared. So I'm very scared. I'm looking up at this missile, this rocket go through the sky, and I don't know where it's going to land. But every time it goes through the sky, it's landing behind me, right? So I see another one coming. I'm thinking it's gonna land on me. I'm like, damn, they shooting at me. They trying to kill me. So I take off. I'm running through a field, but I'm running towards like this apartment building, because they got like stairs and stuff like that, and like different sections of buildings where you could try to duck underneath and get some shelter, right? So then I see this plane come by, right? And it's evading planes. Some country is evading the United States of America with planes, right? And so now I understand they are shooting the rockets at the plane. They're trying to shoot it out the sky, right? But there's multiple planes that's coming in waves. One wave, two wave, then another one comes, and they're dropping missiles. And I see one come, and I see two little sparkly things come out of the bottom of it, right? And it's two missiles, and the two missiles come down like they're targeted, right? And they go straight to where the army man is. One hit the other one, right? What one hit each of them. Two missiles come down, boom, boom, kill both of the army man that's shooting a rocket launchers. Two missiles come down on both of them, right? Target them, right? Heat seeking target, whatever it is. They come down, boom, kill both of them, right? Now these planes are coming to drop bigger missiles, right? And maybe even a nuclear bomb, right? Because all from that point, I ran to the apartment. They had like these little like ceilings, pretty much, where I could try to hide under, because I was scared. And I'm behind a building, and I'm looking at these planes come through, and I'm hearing gigantic booms, and seeing the sky turn different colors. But I'm hearing like a lot of weird sounds too, man. Like if like a long time ago when I was a little boy, I used to watch this show, this kids show called Dragon Ball Z, right? And the characters, whenever they had the power to like jump or teleport, right? And whenever they teleport, there was like a sound, like a ching sound, and they would teleport and they would go like ching, and then they would disappear, right? So I'm hearing like that ching sound, right? I'm hearing that, and then I see oval, like disc shapes in the sky, but I don't see them. I just see the color, and I see it in the sky, and I see the color in the cloud, right? And it's like just stacked all the way down the sky, and I'm seeing them, and they're reappearing, and then they're disappearing and going different places. I don't actually see the chariot, but I see the color and the shape in the sky, and they're reappearing, disappearing. It's like the sky is like dancing, with colors. And I'm like, I'm scared. And I see these planes come by, and I'm seeing bombs get dropped on different buildings and stuff like this. Kind of like what's on your screen is blowing up. And I'm scared. So the after that, it jumps into like a voice that's talking to me, almost like if an angel was speaking to me, right, through my dream. This is 100% real. This just happened. 100% right. This is the vision I had, right, and I'm going through it right now, the best to my best ability. So the angel is reassuring me and telling me like, look, don't worry about that. And I'm taking that to mean the stuff that I was thinking about before I went to sleep, getting low, seeing these guys on top of the world. They super wicked, and the more wicked they are, the more they get on top of the world. But who was also confronted with that in the book of Matthews? Yahweh Shai, right? And I was getting comforted because look, Yahweh Shai took the low. He could have been king of all these worlds. But what did he tell Satan? He said, Satan, get behind me. You see what I'm saying? And now look what he has. Now look what he has inherited. Right? So the voice is telling me, don't worry about that. And the voice is telling me like, it's coming. It's coming soon. So I'm scared, but I'm happy. So like the feeling of happiness flashed through me, right? Because I'm like, okay, it's coming. Okay, this is reassurance that it's coming because this is what we're praying. This is the faith and the patience of the saints, right? So I'm like, okay, it's coming. But then the feeling of being scared flashed, right? After happiness flashed through me, fear flashed through me, right? Because I was like, damn, okay, I'm happy, it's coming. But then I was like, oh, this is scary. Like I was scared, my heart was pounding. I'm thinking missiles is finna get dropped on me. My heart is pounding. I'm scared. I'm like, damn, right? And the angel was telling me like, don't worry, it's coming. It's coming soon. Just be patient. This is coming soon. Be patient. And the angel was like, look, man, don't. And the angel, like, the voice was like, seeing that I was scared. And it was like, don't be scared, man, because it was saying like, if anything happened, even if you do gotta go, right, I can make it very easy for you, like just like in the books, like Second Maccabees chapter 7 with the brothers. It seemed grievous what was happening to them on the outside, but the Lord sustained them on the inside. That maybe it was easy to them, right? Or like the three brothers the three men that was put into the fire den, right? And they didn't die, right? In the book of Daniel, right? So just because if you gotta go, don't mean that the Lord, He can make it very easy to you. It may seem grievous on the outside, but inside it may seem very easy to you. And then I remember I got sad, and I got really sad, and I was like responding back to the angel, and I was like, nah, but I want to make it to the end. I want to see the chariots come. That's what I want. I want to see the chariots come. I want to be taken up by a chariot. And then like I seen like just a smile. Like, you know how you see a smile but you don't really see a face, but it's a face, and it was a smile, and it was like it's possible. So like the voice that I was hearing that was talking to me was like pretty much like, look, you could go, but I can make it easy, or it's possible. It was like a game. It was like, it's possible you might make it, but it wasn't telling me. It was like, you might, or you might go, but even if you go, I can make it easy, or you might make it to the end. You don't know. So it was just left me like that, and then I realized, because then I woke up not too soon after, and then I realized that was a vision, and I was like, damn, I gotta come tell my vision, right? But it also showed me, now looking back on the vision, that Esau gonna come after us, which we already know that, right, with these fake cases, right? But it was showing me that none of that shit mattered because the whole land over here in Mystery Babylon is gonna be destroyed, and a system was gonna be destroyed because a missile or a plane. No, it was a plane. A plane got blew out the sky, and that county building that I was at, the plane landed on the county building and blew up. So all the records that they had against me to try to prosecute me, all that shit was destroyed, and all the people that was there was killed because this gigantic plane was blew out the sky and was on fire. I seen the plane on fire coming down, and it landed on that county building. And I was like, damn, look, everything I'm worried about, look, you might as well not worried about the shit, right? Because it's all gonna come to an end and be destroyed. And it talks about that in First John chapter 2. This world's restored to fire, or love not the things of the world, right? And roughly paraphrasing, right? So I realized that, and just waking up, I started realizing like just different parts of it. But yeah, this is stuff that I was seeing, man, and it was terrifying. So that fear made me realize, like, yeah, you want the end to come, and you're hasting the day for the end to come so bad, right? But when that time come, there's no, that's what I kept hearing too. There's no turning back when that time come. And it's gonna be very, very fearful, even for the man that knows what's going on, even for the man of the Lord that could see, that's getting these visions ahead of time to see what's gonna happen. It's still gonna be very fearful, even for you, right? And that's what it kept telling me. Like, yeah, you hasten it, you want it to come, because that's what I was thinking about before I went to sleep. I was thinking about, man, I can't wait till these men are tested. The MOTB is here when this place is destroyed, right? Because they don't want to follow the Lord, they want to follow wickedness, but they're benefiting off following wickedness. In this world, this is a wicked world, so the wicked benefit off being wicked, right? So they got all the jewelry, they got all the money, they got the mansions, they got the trips in Miami right now during this time where we're all up here freezing. We got brothers in New York and Buffalo that's freezing, right? But they all in Miami, they all in LA. They still got their shirts out, they got the jewelry, they got the women, they got the money, they got the luxury, right? Because they're wicked and they being rewarded for being wicked, right? But that was like reassurance to me, and I was just thinking like, man, I can't wait till this fucking place go down. But then at the same time, when that time come, there's no turning back, and it's very, very, very fearful. Trust me, I was scared as, and I'm now I really don't be scared of a lot of shit. Like some of the jobs I done growing up, like I was a part of the Iron Workers Union, so I've been 60 feet in the air on steel beams and shit like that, upside down, putting bolts in. I didn't. That's like what I grew up doing. I got into the trucking industry, so I didn't been on the side of mountains all through traveling to LA, going through the mountains and stuff like that. At fast speeds and 80,000 pounds trucks and stuff like that. I'd have been teaming up with team members on trucks where I'm sleeping on the truck while he's driving through shit like that. I'd have drove through ice roads in the wintertime and shit like that. So it's not a lot that make me fearful. I have like that spirit of not being scared to do things, right? But I could tell you this, right? I was fucking scared, man. I was scared when you see them bombs. And then I also realized, that this is very realistic. There's a country going through this right now. So imagine everything that I just told you, right? Now imagine being in Ukraine right now. This is literally happening to them. This is a picture from over there, right? So this is literally happening to them. People are walking and going about their lives, and bombs are falling out the sky. And they're seeing planes, they're seeing missiles fly through the sky, they're hearing drones hubbing through the sky, or whatever, hissing through the sky, and then come down, and a gigantic explosion like this happen. So a person could be like in one of these cars down here, and then just imagine sitting in the car. You're just sitting in the car, you finna take off, and then boom, this bomb blow up behind you. That's gonna scare you you might piss on yourself, man. So this is literally happening. We know that this is a realistic thing because we can see it literally happening in the world right now. Just imagine being in Japan when the atomic bombs was dropped on them by the U.S. Just imagine being downtown, right, and you just going on about your everyday life. It's war and everything, and the next thing you know, this atomic bomb, you just see this gigantic flash and all this fire and this wave of smoke, and next thing you know, you in the spiritual world. Just imagine that. This is really what happens. But the people in America have been spoiled for so long, untouched so long, they don't think that this could happen. So when it happened, they're gonna be even more fearful. They're not gonna expect it to happen, right? So when bombs start being dropped on Mystery Babylon the same way they're being dropped on Ukraine, oh my goodness, it's gonna be Mad Max out here, man. It's gonna be Mad Max out here, and this is coming very soon, according to that vision. So pretty much to wrap it up, brothers, sometimes you get low in the spirit. Sometimes it seems like it's tearing. It's many precepts in the Bible that talks about it tearing, right? But just keep going, man, because it's coming. That dream reassured me that it's coming sooner than what we think, right? And when it comes, there's no turning back, and it's gonna be a very fearful time. So with that, I'm gonna say salvation to the elect. Shalom.